Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Battle Chronicle video. And I know it's been a while since we've actually covered Danmachi Battle Chronicle on this channel. I think the last time we did cover it was the new trailer that we got a couple of weeks ago. So of course, I'm glad to be finally getting back into Danmachi Battle Chronicle content. Of course, I'm very excited for all the stuff that we're going to be doing on the channel with the game. Of course, it's going to be super refreshing, something a little bit different to Danmimo, of course. And while I'm still going to be playing Danmimo, right, I'm not going to abandon Danmimo once Danmachi Battle Chronicle comes in, but we're definitely going to be doing both at the same time for sure. So of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for new Danmachi content as well as Danmachi Battle Chronicle content, and leave a comment down below as well letting me know what are your hopes and expectations for the game. Of course, we're getting closer and closer to the release. You know, they said spring 2023. We're pretty much starting the spring season now. So let me know what you guys think about the upcoming game. What are your hopes and expectations? And yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what you guys have to say down below. Now, like I said, we have some things to talk about regarding this game. We're getting closer and closer to the release, right? So I want to talk about stuff regarding the channel, but that will be at the end of this video, because first and foremost, we have to obviously talk about some new news that has dropped. I say new news, technically it's old news, because this presentation material you're looking at right now from KLab contains information about Danmachi Battle Chronicle, but this thing released about a month ago, so I completely just ignored it. I knew that there was something coming up, but I completely forgot about it because of the start of the new semester at university, and of course everything that was going on in Danmachi Memoria Freese. I think the Hero Festa released around that time, along with a lot of other things regarding Australia record and stuff. So I just completely forgot about this presentation material, but we're finally here to talk about it. We're finally here to gas up the new game, of course, right? So we're gonna see what they have in store for us in terms of new information and stuff, but also we have the launch of the closed beta test later this week. The closed beta test application ended a couple of days ago. I think it was on the 10th it ended, and the start of the closed beta test is on the 16th. Now, of course, I'm going to go into more details about how we're going to cover the closed beta test, of course, and on the channel. You know, we're definitely going to be covering it on the channel, provided they allow us to share content from the game, right? Because sometimes they have like NDAs and stuff. I don't think this game will have it, but in case they have NDAs and stuff, we'll have to be very careful in terms of how we cover the game on the channel and stuff like that. But of course, first and foremost, let's go over the presentation material. We'll talk about the closed beta test later on, and then just generally how we're going to cover Danmachi Battle Chronicle on the channel at the end of this video. So let's scroll down all the way to the bottom, because right now at this point in terms of the presentation material, it's all about how well they've done in the previous year. So they're going to talk about games like Bleach Brave Souls, Captain Tsubasa, and stuff like that, their main developing games at this point in time, right? So of course, if you guys want to check this out, by the way, you can go onto their website. It's freely available. I'm pretty sure there's one for Aiming Inc. as well, which I might check out in another video, but also there might be one for Danmachi Memoria Freese via GRE and WFS. So let me know if you guys want to see me go over the Danmimo one. I'm very curious to see what you guys would want to see in regards to that. If you guys want me to go over that one as well, because I know some people have concerns about Danmimo ending sometime soon and whatnot. So I'm very curious to see if they've mentioned anything potentially in those documents. So let me know if you guys would like to see that potentially. So let's go over to the bottom now. Let's go scroll down all the way to the bottom and see what they have in store for us, because they'll obviously have some information about what's coming up as well, right? Whenever they do these financial reports, right, they have to obviously review what's happened in the past year. Of course, this is for the past year. Usually it's only for the past quarter, but of course, this being the one for the financial year of 2022, they have to cover the entire year, right? And this being in February as well. This released in February. So of course, they're going to go over everything they've done in the past year, but they also have to preview the upcoming year. What are their plans? What are they going to start developing on? How much, you know, it's going to cost and stuff like that. So they have to kind of go over those details. So let's go to the bottom where we'll get more information. So of course, this is the start of what they're talking about. They said that they're preparing for 2 new titles, one game related IP and one My Hero Academia based gacha game, or just game I should say, and it's forecasted with a release in 2025. So My Hero fans, there you go, some information for you guys. So yeah, they're talking about new things as well, about what they've done. They're talking about entering the blockchain stuff, which personally I'm not too interested in. I'm glad that the new Danmachi game isn't blockchain related. I'm so glad that it isn't at all. Thank God for that. But yeah, so review of midterm management plan. They've changed some things, of course, right? In regards to their new titles, and of course, this was the big news we got a couple of months ago, was that K-Lab was taking a step back from publishing Danmachi Battle Chronicle and just helping out with development. The main publisher is now Aiming Inc. And this is something that I had an issue with when we found out about it in the first place, to be quite honest. Because while K-Lab has had its issues with Bleach Brave Souls and stuff like that, they are a relatively experienced publisher, especially globally, right? So for me, Danmachi Battle Chronicle being published now by Aiming Inc. isn't very inspiring, to be quite honest, especially with Aiming Inc.'s track record. While they have had some really good gacha games under their belt, for example, Dragon Quest Tact, sometimes they've not handled gacha games well at all. Like Mushoku Tensei, I think that game only lasted a year. It was so badly handled by Aiming Inc. So for me, I'm really disappointed that K-Lab is no longer publishing the title, but it's obviously helped them out. It's reduced their workload. It's changed their structure. So hopefully it's a good thing, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm kind of disappointed by this. This was a very disappointing piece of news when we found out about it for the first time, in all honesty. So let's go over to the bottom and let's see what we have in store for us, because they'll obviously have stuff regarding the pipeline, what's in the pipeline, what is planned for the future. So let's see what they have in store for us. So yeah, game pipeline list. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Battle Chronicle. Aiming Inc. is the main developing team and operating entity. They're the publishers. It's a partnership with Aiming Inc. for PC and mobile online game development. Okay. It's planned for distribution in spring of 2023 by Aiming Inc. Okay, a lot of things to dissect there. Primarily two things. So the first thing I want to talk about, of course, is the elephant in the room, the PC side of things. Now, this is something I was a bit concerned about, because so far in all the trailers, in all the news articles, and the press release, they didn't mention anything regarding a PC release. The fact that the K-Lab financial presentation still mentions a PC version for the game makes me excited. It's definitely a huge positive of having the game on PC, because a lot of people, you know, for even mobile games, right? If you look at anybody playing Danmachi Memoria Freese or any other gacha game, they anyways try and shift it to the PC and use an emulator instead. This always happens. So the fact that they're already giving us a PC version of the game is very, very good. Of course, them not mentioning a PC version of the game right now makes me question a couple of things, and that leads me to point number 2. So they've said that the plan for distribution is in the spring of 2023 by Aiming Inc. And we know that that was going to happen anyways. We know that the JP version is releasing sometime in spring, probably in like April or May, right? It's a month or two after the closed beta test at the very least, right? So that is very, very positive, right? But they still haven't mentioned anything about a global version of the game. And that makes me believe, potentially, that there is a couple of things planned out, I assume. So first and foremost, the global version will release after the JP version, but not by much. Maybe like 2, 3, maybe a month later. Not too long. It won't be like a 6-month gap or a 7-month gap, is my prediction. Now, on top of that, my other prediction is that the PC version will only release alongside the global version. So whenever the global version releases, we'll get the PC version of the game as well. So it's going to be a bit of a while, is my guess, between obviously getting the mobile version and the PC version, as well as the JP to global version. But I don't think it will be too long. There is a chance I could be wrong, and it's actually like a 6-month gap between the two, just like how Danmachi Memoria Freeze was, or Dokkan was. Or it definitely won't be like 2 years, like how Fate Grand Order is. I don't think that's possible, but I do think that it will be like a 6 to 7 month gap at the most. But my expectation is 1 or 2 months at the most, in all honesty. My personal expectation is 1 or 2 months. 2 months. Worst case scenario is 6 months, in my personal opinion. Now, there is a possibility it could be sooner than that as well, and they're not telling us anything because they're not sure as to how much they can localize immediately, right? Because a lot of this effort is dependent on A, localization, B, also making sure that the game is following any rules and regulations of any country they want to launch it in, right? So they have to make sure they're going through all these processes, and as a result they aren't sure if they can get it done in time. So there is also a possibility it'll release at the same time as the JP version, but I'd like to temper those expectations just because we don't know exactly how much process has been done on the localization front, as well as getting it approved of and everything by various Google Play nations and stuff like that, depending on what countries they want to launch in, right? So that's something to bear in mind. Now, of course, they have some other games here that you can have a look at and see for yourselves, and go over as well. And like I said, I'm gonna there will be a link to the financial presentation in the description down below, but let me see if there's anything down here that we can go over potentially. Acquisition of popular IPs. Yeah, going for EA, My Hero, JoJo's is of course being published by them as well, but they have Bleach as well, so it makes sense. It makes sense as well. The fact that they're talking about promotion of global expansion as well makes me believe that there is going to be a very likelihood of a global release sooner rather than later potentially. I do believe that to be the case for sure. So yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything here potentially that we can have a look at, maybe in terms of more details. No, that's about it. There's no more information in regards to Danmachi. So yeah, that's very positive though. I would say is a PC release is guaranteed. No mention of a global release unfortunately just yet through this, but maybe I'm expecting with them talking about the global expansion and stuff like that. I do think that there is a very likelihood of there being a global release either on launch or within a few weeks, maybe a month at most, is my guess. It is my guess. Now, of course, let's move back to the game itself, Danmachi Battle Chronicle, and shift away from the financials of KLab. Of course, the closed beta test ended its application process on the 10th of March because the 16th of March, which is only 4 days away, is when the beta test actually begins. Now, I've applied with multiple emails. I haven't gotten any email just yet from them. I expect the emails to come in probably around the 14th or 15th, maybe on the 16th itself. And I expect an announcement in the Discord that the official Discord, by the way, to tell us like, oh, the emails have been sent. You can, log in and download the game and stuff like that, right? And that's where my first concern begins, because while I'd love to cover the game and stuff, right, I have to also be a little bit realistic in terms of the possibility that I might actually not even be able to download the game or even access the game. Even though I may get in, there is a chance that might happen because of a hard region lock, right? Right? They could easily, prevent VPN usages. They could prevent you, even if you are, let's say, you're using a US Google Play account, they'll stop you there. We'll have to try and figure out what they do. I don't think that's possible, but I don't think it's likely to happen, I should say, but it is possible is what I wanted to say. Sorry. I do think it's unlikely that they will do a hard region lock and stuff, but there is a possibility they might at the same time. So in terms of the content that will be covered on the channel when it comes to the closed beta test, if I get in, all well and good. Expect like a live stream day one, assuming they allow us to cover the game, in public and stuff. Expect a live stream on day one. Expect a couple of videos over the span of the beta test period, basically. I'll review the game as well, talk about my thoughts and stuff, what they need to improve and whatnot, of course, right? Expect those types of videos. But if I don't get in, still expect something like that. Basically, I won't do the live stream and stuff, for example, right? Because I don't have access to the game, right? I wouldn't be able to do anything like that. Maybe if I know a friend of mine who's able to play the game and I can, be in Discord with them and I can see what they're doing, maybe then we can do a live stream potentially. I don't know, we'll see. But outside of that, if I don't get in, right, expect other types of videos. We'll take images, footage from Twitter and Reddit, potentially the Discord and stuff like that, right? I'm gonna try and take as many footage material we can get and as many images as we can get and just try and collate them together to basically create a video where I can just, go over, like, for example, the gacha system, the raids, the gameplay experience and stuff like that. Of course, gameplay will be a little bit harder to judge because I don't have control of the game, right? So it's a little bit tricky to actually do something with that. but that is something we can still try and do. So try and expect at least something along those lines when it comes to the closed beta test. We'll have to wait and see, of course, if I get it in the first place or not, but I'm very excited to be covering it on the channel. I'm 100% going to be doing a lot of content on the game, don't you worry about that. And of course, when the game officially launches, right, some of you guys may wonder, what about the Danmachi Memoria Freese content? How is that gonna go? Well, it all depends on how exactly Battle Chronicle is going to be as a game, right? Obviously, ideally, I upload 2 videos a day, one Danmachi Memoria Freese video and one Danmachi Battle Chronicle video, right? That would be the way to go, basically 2 videos a day, and that way we're basically covering both sides of the coin. And of course, on update days, right, assuming, let's say for example, Danmimo is always on Thursday, right, but Battle Chronicle ends up being on Tuesday, that would be perfect for me, because then on Thursday I can upload more Danmimo content because it's the update day, and then on Tuesdays Danmachi Battle Chronicle gets a couple of more videos. So if you guys want to see that type of content, you know, let me know what would you like to see in terms of Danmachi Battle Chronicle content day in and day out. But basically that would be the way to go effectively, right? Of course, like I said, let me know what type of content you'd like to see on Danmachi Battle Chronicle at the start of the game, right? Of course, we're gonna see, we can do some early summons, tier lists potentially, early gameplay, stuff like that, guides maybe on certain things and stuff. Let me know what you guys would like to see. I'm very, very excited to be covering the game and whatnot, right? And this video is supposed to be sort of like a channel update to an extent, right? But of course, the main source of information was, of course, the PC release being still confirmed. And of course, the closed beta test is coming soon. So I'm definitely going to be covering it on the channel. No matter if I get in or don't get in, I'm still gonna cover it, right? So of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi Battle Chronicle content. Let me know what you guys think about the new game as well. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on it, hopes, expectations. Let me know. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.